Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel, Triple Aqua from the West, from Key West. I'm Mermaid Christiane. So today I want to talk about the blue moon that we're having December 31st on Halloween. It's extremely rare that it happens on Halloween, and last time it happened on Halloween was in 1974. And if you want to see it again, you're going to have to hopefully be here on God's green earth, and it's going to be in 2039. So it's really rare, and we already had a full moon on the 1st, and then now we're gonna have this blue moon. And it's interesting because the blue, I feel like we have been building up for a huge change in our lives, and it's stuff that we've been gradually adding on little changes, or shedding old skin, or shedding old habits, and breaking ancestral curses by you doing it finally different in your bloodline going forward. And so you've released that trauma that you brought in from other lifetimes and things like that, or even that you've even gotten it in this lifetime. Basically, what was the word? I'm trying to look where it's accrued in this lifetime. That was the word I was looking for, and I was stuck. So anyway, yeah, so it's interesting enough because the throat chakra is number 5, and 5 is always the number in numerology for change. And blue is the color of the throat chakra. You know, it's aquamarine, lapis lazuli, and I believe it's turquoise. So those are the 3 colors that are part of your throat chakra. And I feel like we finally are in a place where we're speaking our truth. It doesn't matter if we hurt other people and it stings a little. We're doing it in a very, very logical way, a very King of Swords if you're a masculine energy, Queen of Swords if you're feminine energy. But you are standing up for yourself and speaking your truth, because you're finally are embracing living your authentic self, your authentic life. And it has to do with all of the work we've done to get here, all of the shedding, all of the dark nights of the soul, all of the towers. And we're finally coming to the conclusion. We're like, okay, this is great. We are leveling up. We are passing each test that the divine throws at us. And you know, let's see what we have here. Flies out. But while I'm waiting on, oh, there's something that wants to come out. Yes, and that's right, because we have forgiveness in our hearts. We learn to forgive ourselves and forgive other people. And this was something that was kind of hard to do and hard to let go, but we've mastered that, and we've done that, and we are okay with those past things that happened to us. And yeah, because we're no longer going to go through life in fearing anything or anyone, you know, even things that are uncertain, or taking those amazing leaps of faith that we were scared to do before, but now we're not. And you know, blue symbolizes calming. It also symbolizes it's creative. It sparks up your creativity. So when you're able to speak your honest truth, you're able to be more authentic. So then that basically what it does is just stirs up all of your amazing DNA and how we're made as human beings, and it sparks our creativity, and it gets us into alignment because we're being honest and we're being truthful. And that is what this blue moon energy is going to bring in on Halloween, which is so beautiful. And it's almost like a blue isn't calming, not like, you know, sad boo-hoo, right? It, ironically enough, God has a sense of humor, you know, with the ghost and boo and all that good stuff. Yeah, because we've learned to alchemize everything. You know, this is the temperance card, and temperance is, you know, the angel mixing the water element. You know, one's hot and one's cold, but just to get it just right, the right temperature. And that's what we've learned to do with the elements. We've learned to master our emotions because we've had to work so hard. And, you know, like a chemist in a lab or a scientist, you know, they have to a little bit of this or less that and get it right. And so they use that temperance in their science. Well, we use this temperance in our emotions, with our passions, with our intellect, with our ability to be grounded. And that's where we're at this point, and we're okay with that. And you know, this angel has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on earth. So I feel this is a very grounded energy, but at the same time, it's water. It's what moves us, our passion from deep at our core. And this blue moon is bringing in that, because, you know, when you speak your truth and when you're able to communicate, and again, we're talking about the throat chakra, the blue, you flow like the water. It's effortless, and it's just something that when this is in alignment here, your throat chakra, you're always going to speak your truth, and you're always going to be true to yourself. And that is a beautiful thing, and that's where we've come. So we finally, and I don't know if you feel the energy, but October feels more relaxed. And yes, the temperature slightly changes, and you know, now we're into fall, but there's something about it, you know, you almost feel like fall was, you know, you fall into it. It's just very relaxing. And yeah, because we have worked so hard to get all of those knives out of our back. You know, the Ten of Swords is not somebody that's dead. It's just somebody that's like has had so many trials and tribulations, and people just doing things to them over and over again. It's like, okay, you know what? Just stick the last sword to me. That's it. I'm done. But I'm going to get up from here. And then I'm going to slowly pull each one out, and I'm going to heal from that one. And then when I'm healed from that one, I'm going to pull the other one out and the other one out. And guess what? You're never going to get me in this position again. And that's where we're at. So, you know, we're going to be, you know, my sister has, one of my sisters has this saying, and she says, you know, if you're trying to offend me, you need to let me know. And that's where we're at right now. You know, we're not going to take offense to people with their little games or their lack of leveling up, or the trickery or deceit, or you know, all of the negative things that come with the devil energy. You know, because a lot of people, and it's unfortunate, and hopefully they will level up, but they operate in the bottom 3 chakras and not on the top 3, right? So if you're watching this, you're obviously operating on the top 3 chakras, which is really cool. And if you are not, then you're like, what is that? I want to know more. It's because you're being called to, and go down that rabbit hole and figure it out. So actually, I don't know why, but I grabbed this deck again. So let's pull from this deck again. Whoa, so I hope everyone is doing something really fun on Halloween, at least trying to get out. I know, sorry about this mess. It says a scene, Hollywood couldn't come to me, so I had to bring Hollywood. I'm doing a, to my apartment here. Yeah, because we don't have self-esteem problems. We don't. We learn to love ourselves, warts and all. We learn to love every little bit about ourselves. Yeah, because we have mastered that patience is a virtue. And because we've taken the time to heal, and that takes a lot of patience to heal yourself, because a lot of people want someone else to heal them, someone else to fix them. But when you do it on your own, it's really hard, because then you go through all those dark nights of the soul, pulling each little sword out of your back. And, you know, at some point, you know, it makes you question this, but then you're like, no, it wasn't me. And it teaches you patience. And, you know, and that's another thing. We don't have indecision anymore. And that's the bottom of the deck. You know, because of our patience, we've learned to master our indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life, because we're not undecisive anymore, because we have that discernment from spirit, from God, from the universe, whatever you believe in, benevolent, holy, great, beautiful, all the good stuff, right? So let's see what the Queen of the Moon Oracle has to say. So anyway, I got sidetracked. I'm like, squirrel. This set is going on right now, and I'm gonna move it to a different location over the weekend. But it is a campaign that I'm spearheading for Reef Relief, and it's called Adopt a Mermaid Month. I'm gonna try to put one of the videos on here, but I do recommend going to their website. It's reefrelief.org. Their Facebook, it's Reef Relief. They have a lot of followers, and they do a lot of great things to educate children and people, but mainly the children, because that's what's important right now. That's who's going to be leading us in the future, and on our ecosystem, and then things that we can do to help our seas, our reefs, our basically our ecosystem that is very important, and it could be detrimental to us as human beings if we don't take care of it. So, and I'm hoping, my big vision is that people adopt this concept of this Adopt a Mermaid month every October, and the mermaids have their Halloween Mersana. Like me, I'm Mervira, Mistress of the Deep, and some of them have multiple, and they will adopt it in other places. Like, if it doesn't matter if it's the springs or if it's a lake, just all over the globe, and it could be something that's worldwide. So if that's something that you think would be interesting in your community, start it up next year, and then that way you can raise money for an organization that is for our Mother Earth, our Mother Gaia, and yeah, you can donate to them, or you can always donate to Reef Relief, where it started. So yeah, we've had to do so much self-reflecting. You know, self-reflecting is, we do this a lot, and then sometimes we can also, you know, I feel like there's twins in this, and then there's twins, and then there's also a mirror, and one has her back turned and the other one is facing the mirror. And I almost feel like, you know, maybe this is you and another person reflecting each other. You're mirroring each other because you're so much alike. And yeah, and this is us right now. Lots of I've been reflecting so much on the last year. You know, this has been 1 year that I have been in my apartment and away from someplace that I owned a property for 19 years, and right before the year, I just started reflecting on my past year and how far I've come and how my life has changed. And it was all because I took a leap of faith and just made changes for myself. And it was yeah, I guess it could be a little scary, but you know, once you make the decision, don't be scared. Keep going forward, and things will fall in line. They'll fall into place. Certain energies will fall off, and that's okay too. But you'll be right where you need to be. Yeah, we got the Patience card again. Isn't that funny? We get it again, and then in this card, it's a woman or a girl, and she's holding a red balloon, and she looks like she's in a cornfield, and it looks like there's this huge portal, which I think we have coming up on 10/10. We have the portal on 10/10 this month, which is just in what, a couple days or something, a few days. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's a 9. It's a completion of a cycle. It breaks down to a 9. This card in numerology. But yeah, she's looking out into the universe, where like she's like, I wonder what's out there, you know. And now, because of our patience, we are okay where we're at. We're content. You see, she's got a red balloon. You know, balloons usually symbolize you're happy. You know, you're celebrating something. So it looks like she's not discontent where she's at, but she's looking towards the future with a lot of curiosity. And then it's almost like tempting. I feel like she kind of maybe wants to let that balloon go out into the future to see where it lands, but she's okay with hanging on to it too, like the Patience card. Like, she knows she's gonna get there already. So yeah, this is us knowing that we're gonna get there, and we're gonna get there to that new place, that new life, that new job, that new experience, new relationship, whatever it is to you. And we're looking at the stars and the moon, like we're aiming higher than where we are. I mean, look how mystical and magical that portal looks that she's about to like walk into, or at least go peek and see what's there. It's really a beautiful energy. So now I'm gonna pull from this deck. This is, I think, the Akashic Tarot. Yes, I don't know how I forgot that. I love it. And then I got a new deck when I was away. I went to go visit my friend on her horse farm, and had such a nice time. And she gifted me this beautiful deck here, and it's a spirit animals deck. And it's interesting because I wanted one, and then we went into a little crystal shop, and they had one. Whoa, those just flipping flew out. All right. Yes, because we're finally getting our wishes are going to be fulfilled. You know, when you work hard and you plant the seed, you know, you harvest a crop or anything, you could even plant a little plant in a pot. You know, sometimes it doesn't look like anything's happening, or even if you plant it's already like bloomed, it kind of like withers a little bit and then it bounces back. Well, if it's underneath the ground and you can't see the seed, stuff's happening, even though like you're waiting on top of that whole patience, you know, card, like waiting to see like when it's going to sprout, when you're going to see, you know, that first little green pop up through the dirt. And now because of that, we are reaping the benefits of having basically our wishes fulfilled, like our cornucopia. And we're going into, you know, Thanksgiving time and the holidays, where it's, you know, where you want to be surrounded around the things that you love and the people that you love. And it's just very comforting, and there's all this comfort food on the table, so it's interesting. And then you have the King of Forces. That's what came up next. And then the Queen of Keys, which is really interesting, because the Queen of Keys, it looks like she's waiting on somebody. And then there's the King of Forces. So you can have a person coming into your life. And the neat thing about the King of Forces is that this could also be like an opportunity. But the King of Forces is somebody who is a huge force in his own right. And he gets along with very diverse animals. You have the wolf, you have the rabbit, and you have the he looks like a deer, but he's probably a stag, but gorgeous. And then you have all of this beautiful purple in the background, very regal. So this is a person that knows their worth, knows what they have, but they're kind of, you know, they're not dressed like in kingly attire or anything like that. It's just very basic. So they kind of blend in a little bit. So maybe this is something that just flies under the radar and doesn't show how forceful they really are or can be, right? So this is a really neat energy. And then we have the Queen of Keys. And I feel like this is also an energy that we can all be embodying. If this isn't somebody, you know, take it how it resonates for you, coming forward to you. But like, we've learned to alchemize, like with the Temperance card, and we've learned to just basically transmute energies around the room. And so it doesn't matter if someone's in their wolf energy, or someone's in the rabbit energy, or in the stag energy. We're okay with all of it. We can get along with everybody and all of the different energies. And yeah, because it's kind of like this Queen of Keys is like waiting on someone, and she looks like she's smiling, like someone's coming towards the castle. So, God, and on the bottom of the deck, we have Archangel Gabriel, which is really, really beautiful. And then he's holding what look like two doves, and one's flying and one's sitting still, which is really interesting. And then he has a trumpet. So it's almost like, it's like the call, like, you know, the trumpet's been blown, the angels are coming down from the heavens. So it's like things are happening in our lives where we have all of this help from the divine, from God, from your angels that are watching over us and protecting us. And yeah, it almost feels like whatever this is that we've been waiting on is really, really coming in, and it's also being protected and guided from the divine. So it's really, really beautiful. Okay, so I think, I have 2 more decks to pull, and I have no idea how much time I've been talking. Okay, and sorry I look like a hot mess, but just went exercise and not one to get all like fixed up for that. All right. See, the hummingbird has been coming out a lot, like when I've been doing some other readings, and I'm glad to be back, by the way. So thank you everybody who follows me and for liking and subscribing. I took some time and went away, and then came back and have had these projects to launch, and it's taken up a lot of my time. Yeah, and there's the panther again, he keeps coming out. But these are really pretty illustrations though. So let's see what animal spirit we will be embodying this month, and mainly for the blue moon. So I feel like the blue moon is just like, we finally are very keen with all of our senses, but we're at peace about it, and we are finally deciding to let go of any anxiety or any kind of stress that was holding us back. And that's what this blue moon is. It's gonna calm us. It's going to make sure that we communicate and we act in a way that's honest, and so we can really, really get our point across, and that other people can understand that we mean it, and we're not like, you know, just a bunch of hot air, right? I was like the saying, I should have been born in Missouri, the show me state, because I always like to see if people are not just full of hot air, right? Yeah, how cool. We have the panda. Enjoy the sanctuary of solitude to regain self-esteem and tranquility. And you know, that's what we've been doing. You know, the panda takes its time. It's not in any hurry. It eats really slow. And you know, it's very interesting because it's a very yin yang. It's very balanced. It's even like black and white, right? Very twin flamey like. And it's learned to alchemize again. So we've learned to love ourselves, to be peaceful and tranquil. Again, that's that blue moon energy, just tranquil and peaceful and just very, very in flow state. And then we have the porcupine. You may defend yourself honorably without hurting those close to you. And that's exactly what we've done, because we've learned to respect ourselves, that we honor ourselves. So therefore we'll honor our commitments, or we'll honor our friendships, we'll honor things that we have around us, our little belongings, or whatever the case is, because we know that when we have to put up our quills, we will, but we don't want to do that all the time because we don't need to. But by honoring yourself, you put up this guard anyway around you, because you teach people how to treat you when you honor and respect yourself. And that's where we are. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the llama. Let courage lead you to seek support and overcome a fear of intimacy. Isn't that interesting? You know, and I feel because in the past, like, we've been hurt so much that we've had our guard up, you know, like the porcupine all the time. But now we've learned to balance that out, where we don't have to be the porcupine all the time, you know, and we basically, you know, we learn to master that. So we are okay about letting new energies in and not being so defensive, right? Just because other people have hurt us in the past doesn't mean that we can't, you know, overcome a fear of intimacy, right? That's really beautiful. I love that. All right, so let's just clarify the whole thing with the, oh, I did use this. Well, I guess I've done that twice. I've grabbed the same deck. I guess we're being called, well, I'm being called, I should say, or we, us, everyone, we're all one, right? That's all energy is. So yeah, this is exciting moon, and we have 2 in 1 month. And like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, this is exactly why and I was just gonna say, because, you know, 2 in 1 month, and all the twin flames are slowly coming together for their bigger mission, because even though if some of them aren't ready, you still have your mission alone, and your other person has your mission alone, and then you have one together. But so many are coming into union, right? And so then the deck is split, but then we have the 8 of Wands, which is fast communication. You have the King of Swords, which is air. Oh, and one neat thing about this moon, it's conjunct Taurus, because the full moon is in Taurus, and Uranus, which that is very air, because that's Aquarius. And we are in the age of Aquarius, and we will be in air for the next 200 years. At the end of the year, it starts for 200 years. And so, yeah, this is very amazing. And then let's see what our mystery cards are. Of course, it's just what I was saying. We have the Lovers, so that's a decision, and that is like a sacred union. It's like a divine pairing. We have the Page of Wands, passionate message coming in, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. It's not like a big huge offer, but it's someone offering you a friendship, offering you something tangible, but they're kind of shy. They're in like it's maybe somebody who maybe a little bit immature in relationships, and it doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be. But when I want to say, I want to say it is because of the Lovers, right? But that's interesting. So yeah, that's all I have. So maybe this October 31st, you have a love interest coming in. And just take it however it resonates for you. You know, sometimes it's your children, sometimes it's a family member or coworker. It doesn't always have to be that. But yeah, it's super interesting because it feels just fun. the energy. And I know like at the end of the month we are doing, I was asked to, if Mervira would make an appearance. And so I'm going to be down at the Coffee Butler Amphitheater, and then my pod's going to be with me, and we have Merlificent, we have Mermaid Atosha. Who else do we have? A Merwoman will be there. Mermaid Marilyn, she's amazing. And we have Merfairy, and we have a Merwitch. So we have a whole bunch of witches that are going to be down there. So I feel like we're all kind of like in this little giddy kid energy, and you know, children don't hesitate to say how they feel. They're not jaded like adults are, or worried about what people are going to think, or who they're going to hurt, or how society's going to see them. So they're able to talk and freely, and so their throat chakra is not closed up, it's open. And I feel that like you've got Taurus, which is really stubborn. It's going to be the moon is in Taurus, and it's a stubborn sign. But Taurus is also very Venusian because it's ruled by Venus, so it's about a lot of love. And if you ever like have a lot of Taurus friends and family, and they're like the biggest lovers, right? And but so we have that, and then we have Uranus, which is like the shocker. You know, if you want to shock anybody, you know, like in any sun, well, it's Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. You know, you can think you know an Aquarius, and then bam, they'll just like do something crazy, and you never know how to take them. They're completely unpredictable, but their superpowers, everyone thinks they are predictable. So yeah, so you have that. So it's interesting what's going to happen. You know, you have Taurus, who's stubborn, who's lovey-dovey, and then you have Uranus come in like for the shock value, and it's all about like communication and honest communication. So it'll be interesting to see what's happening, you know, prior to the energy, the full moon energy coming in, like a day or so before. You'll start to feel the shift, and then that day will be like on. And it's interesting because like you have the two moons, the synchronicity of that, and then the fact that it's extremely rare and it's happening on Halloween, where kids are running around in costume and being free and just saying whatever they want, and then all of that energy is just coming in. It's going to be an interesting day on the planet. And I know that we're going through COVID and all that stuff, but I know for us, we're doing the masquerade march. The kids are going to be just like they're mass marching around. It's going to be safe that way. That's why our town here in Key West, I'm not sure where you are in your neck of the woods, but that's what we're doing here. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things happening right now, because things are starting to get a little lax, which is really, really nice. But yeah, so I guess that's all I have, but I feel that this is going to be a fun blue moon in Taurus on October 31st. I hope you like this. I hope it resonated. And remember, this is, even if you see this after the blue moon, it's still a timeless message. You were supposed to hear it when you heard it. All right. Thank you, everybody. And remember to always keep swimming towards your dreams. Bye.